The cost of premium in Albion Online is too damn high. I'm not only just talking about the real life cost of the money, which in my area is about 17 real life dollars after taxes, but it's currently 16.5 million silver in-game money, and that is just too much. Today we're going to talk about that. So first off, compared to other MMORPGs, Albion Online is the most expensive one of them all. I mean, I can go play Final Fantasy XIV or even World of Warcraft and pay less per month than if I want premium in Albion Online. And you may be arguing, well, you don't need premium to play Albion Online, but if you really want to make a difference and get progression done, you absolutely do need premium. There are people that want to argue that it's only $17, that just go work a job for a few hours and buy it yourself. And that's what this video is going to debate today, is that exact statement. So let me tell you about getting premium with in-game currency, okay? If I combine all of my crafters, all of my crop growers, which I can't use my crop growers anymore without premium, so I'm going to go ahead and cut them out. But if I go gathering and I combine the income from my crafters, I can average about 3 million silver per hour. So this means it will take me 5.5 hours of real life time to farm enough silver for premium, which is not too bad for me. I think that's okay. I think that's kind of fair. However, new, inexperienced, and lower leveled, lower geared, lower spec'd players cannot and will not be able to do that. They are going to take maybe 6 to 7 times longer, possibly, I don't know. Even, I made a new account to try to, speedrun premium, and I was barely making 1 million silver per hour, maybe 600,000-700,000 per hour. So it would take me about 24 hours of playtime to get it, and what I did was I just broke it up into two 12-hour shifts, so I was able to get it in 2 days, which on a new character you get 3 days of premium, but not everyone can play 12 hours a day either. And then you might say, well, in 5.5 hours, you could just go flip burgers at McDonald's and make that amount of money, dude. And I'm going to talk about that point in a little bit, but first I want to talk to you about just the world in general. Not everyone makes the same amount of pay. Yeah, if you live in a first world country and you live in a fancy part of a town, yeah, you'll probably make 15 bucks an hour at McDonald's. However, did you factor in the cost of living, your bills, how you're saving for your future? Because get this, if you're at work, you're basically trading your time for money, and in order to do that, you're doing that to escape the world around you from sucking you dry of all your money, right? So you're probably trying to save some of that money, and I'm gonna get into that later. But first, let's talk about countries that can't make that kind of money. Let's talk about Venezuela, for example. If you work on average at Venezuela, or in Venezuela rather, not at, it's not like a place you work at, you will make about $6.70 for the entire month. That's right. You're only, your monthly income is on average $6.70. And this is for someone that's unskilled, someone that doesn't have college degrees, that doesn't even have a high school diploma, who isn't a doctor, isn't a fancy person that has a parent or a friend or a cool uncle that gets them a factory job. This is just, if you go work at McDonald's in Venezuela working part-time, you're going to take about home $6.70 a month. This means that if you spend your money on nothing else at all, it's going to take you 3 real-life months of working at a place that you hate just to get a little bonus in a video game. That's insane. That's not reliable at all. And that's just one country out of many, okay? So for a lot of people that play this game, because I'm going to tell you right now a little secret, Albion Online is not a game that a lot of first world people play, okay? And that's just the truth of it, okay? If you go around in America or North America, United States, whatever you want to call it, and you go to shopping malls and places where the cool kids hang out, and you ask them about Albion Online, they don't know what the hell you're talking about. They've never heard of it. Yeah, sure, they've heard of Call of Duty, they know what World of Warcraft is, they may or not play it, but they have not heard of Albion Online. They have no clue what it is. You can go to nerds and comic book shops and they might sometimes know what it means, but the majority of people do not play this game from those types of countries. But let's say even if you are, here's what life is like for you. If you are an unskilled worker, you're not privileged, you don't have generational wealth, you don't have a network of friends and family that can hook you up with nice jobs, you're not super lucky when it comes to making connections as you were growing up. There's just so many different factors as to why even someone in a first world country like the United States or Europe or Australia cannot afford to pay for premium with real money. So let's talk about that now. So your goal is to get $17 of spending cash after meeting all of your basic needs and requirements, and making sure that you don't, go bankrupt or die or have not enough money to fix your car up. So you want 17 bucks for spending cash so that you can pay that per month to a video game so that you can have a slightly 50% increased advantage over other players. Now, one argument is that if you cannot afford the $17 a month for premium, that your time is better spent doing something else than playing a video game. And while that could be true, that means that only rich people, only privileged people are allowed to play video games. They're the only ones that get the right to play video games. They're the only ones that deserve to play video games. And if that is the case, then I guess, SBI will only be taking, money from privileged and people that have nice jobs, then I guess, whatever. So let's talk about it. You need to get a job so that you can afford premium in a video game, and you think it's more efficient than just playing the video game. So let's talk about that, okay? The way I factored it in is you're going to at least need a job that pays you $45 an hour to even possibly consider buying premium for real money in Albion Online. Now, I know what you're thinking. $45 an hour, I could buy a bunch of premium with that. But no, let's break it down and let's talk about why this is the case, okay? If you are employed, you will need all of the things in order to be employed, which means you will need a place to live because you're not going to be hired if you're homeless. You will need a cell phone, you will need a car, especially in first world countries where driving is super mandatory, and you could argue that you don't need these things, but yes, you absolutely do need them. And with all of that comes bills, insurances, other nickel and dime things that wherever you're renting from is going to charge you for. Just having a car in these countries costs, insurance money, the certification to legally drive the vehicle, and there's just so much crap that is required just to be able to work a job, and let's talk about it. Okay, so if you make $45 an hour, you have to pay taxes, and if you work 40 hours a week, which good luck getting a 40 hours a week job in today's economy, you're going to bring home $1,500 a week, and each month is about 4 weeks, so you're going to be making $6,000 a month or so, right? And I know there's more months in the year than that, because that would be 12 times 4 is 48, and there's 52 weeks in a year, but just roll with this, okay? The math isn't absolute, it's not exact, it doesn't have to be exact, okay? So, you're going to be making $6,000 a month, which is way more. That's like dream money for me. But let's just imply that you make $6,000 a month, okay? Your rent, because you live in the ghetto, and this is the cheapest possible rent that you're going to find, $1,800 a month, okay? That's just the rent. And then food, let's say it's just you and you're eating nothing but like beans and rice and maybe some other scraps of vegetables. You're going to pay about $100 a month on food. Now, most people don't. Most people spend way more on food per month, okay? And then you have bills. You have bills like the water bill, the electric bill, the internet bill, the trash bill, various taxes that are also nickel and dimey. You maybe have a gas bill, like natural gas in your apartment or whatever. I'm not sure, but you have insurances. You have to have like homeowners insurance or property insurances. You're going to need a phone because you're employed, so you're going to have to pay for the phone. You're going to have to pay the monthly bill for the phone, probably insurance on the phone. I don't know if that's legal or not because I don't personally own a phone. But, that's like an additional $800 from all the extra bills. Then you have gas that you have to drive back and forth to work, which is going to cost you anywhere from $40 to $60 a month. I don't really know gas prices too well anymore, but it's going to cost you quite a bit. Then you also have the cost of the car, the cost of the upkeep of the car, the insurance of the car, all the legal certifications required of the car, which I'm not even factoring in right now. But that is like the absolute bare minimum to just legally and properly exist and prosper while working a job, okay? So let's just say that all your bills, all your food, everything, and this is without buying video games, buying anything that you might be into, like your hobby, computer games, anything. This is about $2,650 a month, okay? So you make $6,000 a month, so that doesn't sound so bad. So this leaves you about $3,350 a month of spending money, which sounds pretty good, except you gotta realize that you have to save for a house so you can escape the rent race, but you also have to save money for rainy day funds, rainy day expenses being things that are out of your control when things break down or things go wrong, such as one day in the hospital due to health problems. That's $18,000 per day, okay? And then your car breaking down, that's going to be $400 for the tow and about $750 minimum for the repairs. And if you aren't saving for a house, okay, you're 100% stuck in this cycle forever. forever. You will never escape. You'll always be making someone else richer, both by working your job and paying rent to landlords. Okay, so the cheapest houses in the worst of the worst ghettos are going to run you about $400,000. Now, this is going to take you 12 straight years at $45 an hour of eating bare minimums amounts of food that is very unfun, is going to make your life absolutely miserable. You're going to hate yourself every single day. But most regular people are going to spend way more on food. Like, I'm talking $700 to $1,500 if they eat out, if they eat luxurious food, if they eat a wide variety of food, or, have families that they feed, if you have kids, if you have a girlfriend you feed, or anything, okay? So food is quite expensive, and especially in first world. Anyway, so assuming that you never get a single health problem or a car problem in that time frame, okay, you can eventually get your house in 12 years, sure, right? Assuming inflation doesn't happen, okay? But just one health problem is going to eat away at 5.3 months of savings. And now, for me, I can expect to get a health problem once every 2 to 3 years. Looking at the last 10 years of my history, I have a hospital visit about once every 2 years. Last year I had a 5-day stay, which cost me $90,000. I had to sell my van for that one. So I am without that van, which is what kept me sustained for so long. But if I go back even 13, 14 more years, there was even more hospital visits. And you'd be like, well, what the hell is going on? And this is, well, part and parcel for living in the ghetto, living in poverty. You get sick, you get injured, you might get stabbed, you might get shot, you might have a health problem due to bad genetics or age, or just you might be in the wrong place at the wrong time and something collapses on you or something, okay? Like I got the corona, a year ago and nearly died from it. So, yeah, and I didn't go out anywhere. I just stayed at home. So I just breathed it in the air through the air vents or something. I don't know how I got it, okay? I'm a total germ freak, so it's not like I'm not washing my hands and taking showers, because I totally am. And these only get worse as you age. You'll start having heart problems, lung problems, especially if you don't keep up and go to the gym, which I didn't even factor in the cost of a gym membership, right? Because most people don't go to the gym, or they might have memberships, but they still don't go to the gym. So anyway, so what this means is that based on medical histories, and maybe you have perfect health, maybe you're blessed, whatever, but I'm not. This means that I lose 21.5 months of savings, or 1.8 years of savings. So now that house is 14 years away, and this is at $45 an hour, okay? The car repairs will strike at least 2 to 3 times a year, because you're going to be driving back and forth to work. Your car is eventually going to go out, unless for some reason you have like a rich relative that just gives you a new car or something. But then the car payments would be even more than the repair payments of driving a beater. So I'm not factoring in new car payments, because that's actually worse off for our scenario. Got it? Okay, so that's at least 1 month of savings gone per year. So add another year to escape the renter's rut. Okay, so it's going to take you 15 years, not counting inflation, not counting anything else that might possibly come up, and again, not counting the gym membership fees, or spending more than $100 on a month on food. And this is buying 0 video games the entire time, 0 movies, 0 hobbies. You are not replacing or repairing your computer, your phone, your car, even if it's totaled, vandalized, or stolen. I don't know how many times I've went out to the parking lot and someone's car is just completely stripped of parts, tires, wheels, the steering wheel, the windows get busted in because someone's gonna dig through your trunk for valuables. All of that needs to be repaired, right? So moving costs also, whenever the place that you're renting gets condemned or burns down due to rioters, or there's so many other factors too, like your rent might go up and you're forced to move. Like I was at one place a while back, and I was forced to move because a mega company took it over and started charging everyone ridiculous amounts of money for the smallest things that they weren't even providing. So it's like, well, we gotta move. Anyway, so the realistic actual time frame, if you make $45 an hour to own a house, is over 20 to 30 years, and that's without inflation. So no, someone who makes $45 an hour cannot possibly ever afford $17 a month on a Unity Kickstarter video game that just to get a 50% fame and loot bonus. It is not viable, and it is not a spending problem with the user. And now you may be thinking, well, we'll just make more than $45 an hour, stupid. Okay, I don't know where you live, but to make that kind of money where I'm from, You need to own a business, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, a good one, you have to be a pharmacist in a nice area, you have to do some other unobtainable super job only reserved for the hyper-privileged and the smart, gifted people who got lucky, who grew up with generational wealth backing them up, who went to nice schools, born from a healthy, drug-free family in a non-ghetto, surrounded by a support network of friends and family, and had no traumatic events in their life. Someone like me literally will never make more than $9 an hour, tops, and those jobs won't even pay you 40 hours a week. You're probably gonna go to Subway or the grocery store and you're gonna get like 17 hours a week. This is due to businesses not being able to afford the low-skill workers for that kind of pay. That's why everything's getting replaced by automation and AI. It's coming. So just work multiple jobs then, dude. Yeah, just go get 2 to 3 jobs. Yeah, okay, so let's say I work 4 jobs at $9 an hour. That's technically $36 an hour if you add it up, but that's my entire life, okay? I don't exist to make someone else more rich. I don't exist to be someone's slave. There is no winning and there is no way out. Well, just go to college, get an education, and you can get a good job. No, this works if you're smart. This works if you can afford college. This works if you have a normal brain. I literally cannot do middle school algebra, which means I can't get the educational certifications required to get a non-retail or a non-fast food job. There is no way for me to ever legitimately acquire this certification without some sort of underhanded criminal thing or cheating. As far as climbing the ladder in a retail or a fast food job, the ghetto is so filled with crime, and I refuse to stand idly by and let people shoplift, or thieves thrive, or someone comes in, gets, they order like a cup of ice water, and then you see them filling it up with soda. That's not gonna happen. You know what I do? I step in and I stop that. And guess what happens whenever you intervene on such an act? You get fired, okay? I do not have the cowardice to stand idly by and do nothing, and therefore, companies will not keep me on board, okay? I spent 13 years climbing the ladder in retail, and I managed to reach $19 an hour. Wow, as a manager, right? And let me tell you, working retail as a manager, you're salaried, so you work a minimum of 12-hour shifts. Most of my shifts were 16 to 18 hours every single day. I had to drive 2 hours to work and 2 hours back to work every single day. 6 days a week, by the way, not 5 days a week, 6 days a week. And sometimes I had to work even more than that. I think I worked like 18 days in a row once without a single break. And then on my day off, I got called into work anyway. So I got like half a day off, okay? So it's not even half required, like $19 an hour, that's not even half of the amount that I would need to sustain life, okay? I am forced to either be homeless, live and eat the bare minimum, or shack up with like 7 to 10 people in a single room apartment to make ends meet. I refuse to live this way.
Well, I guess you shouldn't be playing video games then.
What? Video games are reserved for the rich and privileged? I think I talked about this already, but no, I'll continue to play. I'll continue to not pay real money for premium in Albion Online, and if my YouTube channel succeeds one day like the bigger channels do, it's the only possible way that I can ever survive and have a chance at a normal life and escape poverty and the ghetto. Yeah, there's lottery tickets, there's gambling, and there's a life of crime. Those are not mathematically viable, okay? There is nothing else that I can possibly do to ever have a chance at surviving or having a future that isn't me eating from dumpsters and being sickly and diseased. I'm not going to illegally flee to another country and work under the table doing shady construction work in some first world country just to make some other person more rich on my behalf, even wealthier, so they can buy their second or third summer home while I'm in constant fear of deportation. I'm just not going to do that, okay? So now, do you understand why it is more viable for people like me and the majority of people in Albion Online, because I speak on behalf of the majority, at least 80% of the people that play this game are in a similar situation to me, okay? They're not all lawyers and doctors and people living in first world countries with nice fancy jobs. Yeah, they exist, and whatever, they can go do their own thing. They can go watch some other YouTuber. I don't care. But the point is that it is not viable for me to pay for premium with real money when I can just play the game for 5.5 hours and then buy premium with the in-game currency rather than go be a worker bee working 4 jobs at the same time and hating my life every second of it. But see, even then, like for me, 5.5 hours of farming in the game, while I can do it, most players can't, okay? So this is the reverse situation. This is where I'm in the world of Albion Online. I am the 1%. I am the big money maker. I am Mr. Monopoly Man, Mr. Moneybags, right? Most players aren't. Most players that I look on Reddit who are doing high risk, activities in like the black zone and stuff, they're barely clearing like 300 to 600k an hour, and it's a maybe, it's a big if, it's a big oof, right? They're not making enough money to be able to sustain premium in any logical sense of playing the normal amount of hours a day that someone would play. Most people might play Albion Online maybe 2 hours a day at most, maybe 2 hours, and then they call it quits. They go do something else. They go hang out with their friends, play a different game. But me, I play 12 to 19 hours a day if I want. If I, not so much anymore. But the point is that it's not sustainable. It is not sustainable for someone like me in real life to pay money for premium. It is not sustainable for someone like most of y'all to farm in-game and pay for premium with the in-game money. So it's just screwed, it's just stupid, and why the hell is a Unity game with only 80 employees charging more money than Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft, which are multi-AAA billion-dollar companies? I don't understand it. Is Stillfront really like shaking y'all down that hard? What's going on? I don't understand, but the point is it's not sustainable, and it's going to hurt the player base, it's going to hurt the game, and I weep for Albion Online at the state. Something has to be done. It can't. This can't go on. Anyway, guys, I'm Soul Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Leave a like. I read every single comment because I have nothing else going on in my life, so I will read every single comment you leave. So make sure you leave one. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's video. If you want to play with me and do group dungeons, there is a link to a Discord in the description. Go ahead and check that out. If you want to support me because you are one of those rich people in real life, become a channel member. You actually get something out of this. You're not just giving me money. So click join down below. You'll become a channel member. It's $5 a month. It's just like subscribing to someone on Twitch, but it's on YouTube. But you get access to private, more personal videos, and some of those videos are things that I think are just too good to show to the public. What I mean by that is ways to make money in Albion Online that are just so good that if I made them public, everyone would do it and it would ruin the economy or ruin that specific market. There are so many videos like that. You can check out a playlist of all the members-only videos in the pinned comment of this video. Just look for the pinned comment. It's the very last link. It says members only playlist. Go ahead and give it a click. Check it out. You can see what kind of videos I have to offer for members only. If it interests you, become a channel member, $5 a month. Thank you so much. With that said, on screen on the right side right now is a video you should absolutely click. It's handpicked by Google just for you. And I will see you in tomorrow's video because we do daily videos on this channel. I have to make daily videos or I will starve and die in real life. And it's my only way to escape poverty. So please watch tomorrow's video or I'm dead. I will die if you don't watch it.